It is Monday night. Once again, here we are live with the Maverick Soul Hour with Tommy Maher on Madhouse TV. And again, I have a very, very special guest. He was asked by you guys out there to come on back. I got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of emails to have this man come back on the show. So he is here. But as usual, I want to go through my little sick week. Very sick all week. Extremely. I couldn't even speak. But I would definitely want to thank, and it was such a great, great show and one of the best shows ever. I'd like to thank Les Zeppelin, who were here last week, that were just amazing. I thank you, ladies. You were professional. You were extremely talented artists and beautiful, beautiful people. And we couldn't thank you enough for gracing us with your presence here at Madhouse. It was great. I've heard so much positive talk about even the acoustic stuff too. But I keep telling everybody, go to YouTube and watch the electric stuff because they're amazing. And I really wanted to let that drummer girl be seen because she is one amazing, amazing drummer. So Les Zeppelin, thank you so very much for coming on the show. Saturday night, we went out to KJ Farrell's in Belmore. Amber Ferrari was playing there with her smaller band, not the Joplin show. And she texted me and asked me if I'd come down and do a couple tunes with her. And, of course, I couldn't even speak. But the chance to be on stage with that lady was enough to drag my dead ass out of the bed and go down there. I didn't know if I could be able to sing, but I actually couldn't even talk when I got there. But somehow, some way, the gods allowed it to happen, and I got up and did a tune with her, little Mustang Sally, which is on my Facebook page, which I just cherish because it was being on stage with them. And Chris and Amber, I thank you so much for allowing me to grace the stage with you. It was great. The band was phenomenal, and I'm so glad that you busted into Nassau County because they need you there. Trust me. I think you're the best on Long Island, and that's just my personal opinion, but I think you are the absolute best vocalist on Long Island, and probably much broader than that, and I know that you are going to explode, and the world will get to see you without a doubt, no doubt in my mind. So I'll have that little treasure forever. Another great game yesterday for my grandson, Jaden. We got a little clip. We're going to try to show it later. I got to show you guys this because it blew me away. But they won yesterday. Great game. Jaden, you're terrific. I love you. You're great. I also want to just let everybody know that, of course, everyone knows that Neville Chesters is here, who was the road manager for Jimi Hendrix, Cream, The Who, Emerson, Lake and Palmer. He worked with James Taylor, worked with Brian Epstein with the Beatles, Stigwood, you name it, this man has been there. Zeppelin, everybody. So we're going to have our phone lines open. Feel free to call in. He's here to answer any questions that he possibly can without getting in trouble. But it's going to be an unbelievable show. So we're going to go to a quick commercial, and we're going to come back with a man that can answer the questions that no one else can. Right here in our studio on the Maverick Soul Hour, Madhouse TV. We'll be right back. Hang in there. Get tight. And we'll be right back with Neville Chesters.
Hi, this is Mickey B, the Prince of Rock and Roll. Join me for my Rockin' Solid Gold Holiday Dance Party, Saturday, December 1st, 8 p.m. at the Belmore Columbus Club, 2333 Belmore Avenue in Belmore, with the rockin' sounds of the 50s through the 80s, starring the Accords, the Fabuleers, 3rd Edition, and DJ Ace playing all your rocking hits. Party with Santa, full hot buffet, coffee, dessert, cash bar. Reservations required. Call 516-822-9612, 516-822-9612, or MickeyB.com. Sponsored by
Welcome to Formula Auto Wash, where every day is a great day for a car wash. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. till 5:30 p.m. Sundays 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. Detailing packages for every budget, starting out at $29.99. 100% hand wash and detail centre. Hog's hair and microfiber brushes and mitts. Proudly using Ecolab Blue Coral soaps and waxes. Formula Auto Wash has served the community for over 30 years. Senior discounts all day, every day. Ladies' Day Wednesday, $3 off any wash. Early bird discount Monday through Thursday till 9:30 a.m. Check out our website, formulaautowash.com.
B&M Performance Cycles, 439 South Main Street, Messina, New York. We handle all parts, accessories, and do all repairs. We can custom build your bike for show or hot rod. We also do New York State inspections on all motorcycles. B&M Performance Cycles. Come see us today. B&M Performance Cycles, 439 South Main Street, Messina, New York. We handle all parts, accessories, and do all repairs. We can custom build your bike for show or hot rod. We also do New York State inspections on all motorcycles. B&M Performance Cycles. Come see us today.
We are back with the Maverick Soul Hour with Tommy Maher, and one of my great, beautiful friends is here with me tonight, Mr. Neville Chesters. And this is actually I think it's a special night for you guys, because I want to see this phone lighten up, because this man has done it all. I mean, this guy has, you name it, he's hung with them. And now when I you know, a lot of people come on and they know this and they know that, but he's the guy that knows all the stuff that happened behind the scenes that no one else knows. So the phone lines are open. Call us. But Mr. Neville, is such an honor to have you once again here.
Not the fish story. No, we're not doing the fish story.
No,
Right.
no, we're not doing the fish story. Not
Okay.
doing the fish. But maybe you could start off with the Mick Jagger story.
Oh, the Jagger story.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't tell you that last time. I actually got fired from Stigwood, right? I was 5 minutes late on a Friday night picking him up. He needed an excuse because, you know, I wasn't, he'd found somebody that looked better than me.
Right.
And so he got all bent out of shape and he fired me. And I went over to a friend of mine's sister, and I think we may have, I think we used to smoke in those days. And she said, I
Chesterfields, right?
Yeah, I know they weren't, they were tipped, I know that. So I went to her house and I told her that I'd been fired, and she said, Jagger's looking for somebody, do you want a job? I said, what? She said, well, my boyfriend Patrick used to be his chauffeur, and he's been, you know, anyway, Mick has outed him. And I said, yeah, okay. She picks up the phone right there and then and calls Jagger. And Monday, 10 o'clock, sure, okay. So I have to go to Marylebone Road, his apartment, where he is with Marianne. No Mars bars involved in this one. No Mars bars were hurt. Oh, you don't know that one. The chocolate bar. Never mind. Anyway, so I went over. We sat there. He said, I mean, he knew me by sight.
Right.
Because, you know, I mean, he'd seen me at lots of things, but we'd never really spoken. And he said, you know, there's not a lot to do. I've got 2 cars. I have a Mini, which everybody, the Cooper S with black windows, which everybody, Beatles had them. And I have an Aston Martin DB6. And he said, the Mini is yours to use, and it's a runaround, you know. And if we go anywhere special, it's the Aston. And I said, great. And I'll see you on Monday. So, Wednesday morning, now I think I told you the last show that I had been, when I'd been at Stigwood's, I had been watching this documentary about Haight-Ashbury and the Summer of Love. Right. And that was in May, and now we're in June. And the Wednesday after, the Monday I see Jagger, 2 days later, Wednesday, I get a phone call from Chris Stamp, the co-manager of The Who. And he said, the boys are going to America. They're going to do Monterey. And they have asked me to ask, will you come back with them? And I thought, America, Haight-Ashbury, Summer of Love. Yes.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. So on the Thursday, I went and got my passport renewed. And on the Friday, I went to the American Embassy in Grosvenor Square and got a visa. And Saturday, I flew out.
But wait a minute. You're leaving a major part of the story out.
I forgot to call Jack. No, I didn't. I daredn't. I didn't call him.
So you just never...
I never turned up.
Have you ever ran into him since?
No. Do you think I should tell him?
I think he knows now, because I believe he watches this show.
Yeah, I've heard...
Every week.
I've heard that rumor, too.
Really? Right. Well, you were at...
it's funny, I know...
you were at a party last night, right, for Maypang?
Maypang's party, yes, last night. He wasn't there, I don't think.
Yeah.
He was on the wall. But, you know, he's on everybody's wall.
That must have been a nice big group there last night, right?
Last night was great. It was the brand new cutting room. I'll give you a plug for the cutting room. I can't remember where it is though. It's like.
Well, while we're giving a plug on the
21st
cutting room,
Street.
we should really give Leslie Gold is going to be doing the Gong Show from the cutting room. We'll keep you up to date with when that's going to happen and that. But Leslie has she's bringing back the Gong Show, so and it's going to be.
Yeah.
We'll go together. I'll pick you up. We'll go.
You can come with me.
Oh, yeah? All right. You're going to drive? All right.
Sure, I can still drive.
All right. Okay.
2 feet as well. I'm a 2-foot driver. Anyway, I like I say, I didn't dare to ring Jagger, so I just never called him.
Yeah.
And I came to America. We did a couple of weeks in and around Detroit because our publicist was a woman called Nancy Lewis, and she was from Detroit, and so we did Something Heights, Something Heights outside a couple of clubs. Then we went down to the West Coast. We did the Fillmore West. We did 3 nights there with the Doors, Jefferson Airplane, blah, blah, blah. It's the first time I'd seen a full light show.
Let me ask you a question. Yeah. Did they ever play Capitol Theater? Because I actually watched a show this morning that this guy bought it and redid the whole place, and they already have 100 acts booked in there, but everybody, Jadis, everybody played there. So I would imagine that the Who probably did play there.
Possibly, yeah.
Or Cream, I'm sure played there too.
Yeah, I mean, I missed the Fillmore East by a matter of a couple of months.
I made up for that one.
Okay. You know, I mean, people tell me about it. I mean, I know all about it. I know everything about it.
It was very cool.
I know a guy that's got all the original posters. He's paid thousands, you know.
Yeah.
Because I had an idea when I came over in 1989 with Noel Redding. On the way back, I said, you know, we should get some of those posters, and we should get some these little guys, you know, the little guys in the country.
It's amazing to look at those posters,
and they can repaint them.
I have a few, you know.
They're worth serious money.
Yeah, well, I don't have the originals. I have but it's still amazing to look and see, you know, Hendrix, Joplin, Cream, you know, all in one night.
Yeah,
$3.
Yeah.
$3.50.
All in the same bill.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we did when I was with Jimmy. We did We did 3 nights at the Fillmore, and then Bill Graham closed the Fillmore down and moved to Winterlands, which was literally up the road.
Right.
I was ticked off because I had to move all the equipment. But on the bill was Albert King, Soft Machine, Big Brother with Janice, Jimmy, and some others.
Sure.
And it was 2 shows a night, and we did 3 nights there.
You know, you think of that now, and oh my God.
Every so often I get the real, you know, when you get a flashback?
Yeah.
When I get a real flashback, it really stops me in my tracks.
Yeah.
You know, I get them from driving down the King's Road in London with all the mod shops, Granny Takes a Trip, and stuff like that.
Well, I know that you also did tell me an interesting story about a little limousine ride with a few.
Well, not a
heavies.
ride, not a ride, no.
From Brian Epstein's party.
Yeah, Brian, just before I left, I mean, this is to talk about timing. I mean, I could give you, I'd be in prison
Can
now.
I tell him who was in the back of the car?
Well, I'll try and tell him.
Okay.
I'll try and tell him.
All right.
Because I only know, there were 6 of us, and I only know, I only remember 2, but Brian Epstein bought a country house. That was the thing to do, you know, the
Right.
Beatles bought country houses. So everybody had an apartment or a house in London, and then they bought a house. Now, I think Brian's house has some link with Churchill, but I can't remember. We'll have to do some Googling. So Brian had a house-warming opening party, which was an entire weekend. And so I took Sigurd down there on a Friday, and I think I must have taken Brian down because his chauffeur didn't work weekends, and I became chief runner, right? So I was up and down to London, and it's like 40 or 50 miles, and I have no idea who I took back and forth, but I do remember one small occasion, maybe on the Saturday, where somebody said, "Oh, you want to do smoke a thingy?" Can we say that? Okay.
Absolutely.
And we go out there, and there's Lennon's psychedelic rolls. And I know there was Lennon there, and I know there was Eric Clapton there, and there was a couple of other people. And we sat in the back of the rolls for about an hour. I have no idea who those other 2 people were. I have no idea.
I think you said Jimmy Page was one of them. A while back.
Yeah,
when
it
we
could
were
have been,
talking.
yeah. I mean, it had to be something in around Stig.
Can you imagine this? Jimmy Page, Eric Clapton, and John Lennon
Yeah.
hanging out in the back of the car.
Probably the only time I've really hung out with John Lennon because, you know, John, I know everybody has a favorite, and most people's favorite was John, but you wouldn't be saying that if you met him. No.
Well,
was
during his drinking days.
He was tough.
Yeah.
He could cut you, zoom, like that. You know, I mean, when I worked at Apple, well, we had to sign a third-party agreement where we were not allowed to talk. I think I said that.
Now, you also told me a story once, a while back. I think we were having dinner or something. That you turned down James Taylor too, right? And wasn't James Taylor the first person, the first act that Apple signed?
Well, no, no.
First name.
They signed several artists, but they recorded them, and then they just had one release. They signed Mary Hopkins. That was Paul.
Right.
Peter Asher got James Taylor. Peter Asher was head of A&R, and I became his assistant. Originally, I was we had a mains office and then the Baker Street store, and I was in charge of this rehearsal room, a demo room, and I got a call from Peter Asher, and he said, "Are you very busy?" And I said, "Well, you know, why?" He said, "I mean, could you keep some afternoons?" And I said, "Sure." And he said, "We've got an artist I think we're going to sign," and you know. And he said, "All right, from next week, you know, keep me some afternoons." And basically, I kept every afternoon, especially after the Monday, because James Taylor walked in. Now, I didn't really know James, and nobody knew James.
Right.
He hadn't done anything. And he rehearsed the whole first album. And I mean, he's one of the nicest guys I've ever met, really. And I've got, he lives upstate, he lives in Vermont. Vermont. Yeah. I was going to say Maine or Vermont.
Yeah, he built one of those barns where he has all his boys hang out.
Yeah.
They all
well, now, you see, that comes down to another link, because the band, I never told you about a band that I met in Denver. This was after working for Emerson, Lake and Palmer in '73. I left the tour. They went back to England. I stayed in Denver where we started the tour, and I met this band in Denver that was supposed to be the best, you know. They were called the Aphrodite's Child. And I went to see them, three-piece band, and that was it. Guitar player, that was it. So I was introduced to them at the end of the night, and I was part of the band immediately. You know, I was the fourth Beatle. Mm-hmm. And I told them the only thing we could do is to go back to England. You know, I'd take them to England, and maybe I could get them signed. And so we did a whole thing where we advertised, and it was the last week here, and then we're going to Europe. And they tripled the money, you know, and everything. And we got money together, and we went to England. I couldn't really get them signed. You know, all the contacts I had, and yet it wasn't working for me. And I finished up getting them signed with Emerson, Lake and Palmer, with Manticore, right? Because Greg took to the guitarist. The guitarist is now very, very famous. He writes TV tunes. Mm-hmm. His name is W.G. Snuffy Walden. And he's written the music for West Wing, 30-something, Wonder Years, Roseanne, tons of stuff. And it just so happens that I saw Snuffy last year. I was supposed to see James at the Carnegie Hall. Snuffy messed the whole arrangement up, and I finished up meeting with Snuffy at the hotel. He was there because he's being managed by James's manager. So how weird is that? But I still didn't see James, but now I have to see James.
Yeah. All right, well, listen, I don't understand why this phone isn't blowing off the hook here. I mean, I have so many questions, but I'd like to hear from you guys a little bit.
But somebody's got to pay for the show, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, no, we don't get paid, but we're going to take a quick commercial break, and I expect this phone is. I know the debate is on right now, so that's probably an issue. But give us a call. We got some questions for Neville. We'll be right back with the Maverick Soul, so hang in there. We got some good stuff, some great stories to tell you, and we'll be right back.
We'll do a political.
This is Angelo from Casper Paranormal. Today we're sitting in with Chris doing a reading. Let's see what's going on.
Okay, I've never had a reading like this before, so just bear with me. I'm seeing bugs.
Bugs? I thought you were a psychic medium.
I know, that's what's confusing. Hold on. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
I'll take the bad news.
I think these are spirit bugs.
Spirit bugs? I've never heard of spirit bugs.
That's just it. Do you want the good news?
Yes.
I know Joe from Bug Busters of Long Island. He'll take care of your problem.
That's great.
Hi, I'm Vinny, owner of VMD Electric. Family owned and operated since 1996, serving all of Nassau and Suffolk County. You can call us anytime, night or day, at 631-669-6915 for all your residential and commercial needs. Here are some photos of our current projects.
What is Grand Prix Motorsports? It's a full-service motorsport performance and service shop. It's West Coast custom style, East Coast pricing, old-school customer service, custom-built bikes, all-out performance upgrades, and free towing too. Grand Prix Motorsports is automobile, motorcycle, jet ski, and ATV, performance, service, and repair. It's online at GrandPrixMS.com. Grand Prix Motorsports, Long Island Avenue, Deer Park.
We are back with the Maverick Soul Hour with Tommy Maher and my special guest, Mr. Neville Chesters. I'm waiting for the phone calls, guys. What's going on? But in the meantime, you told me a story about, and this one is a little mind-boggling too. Peter Grant, who was the manager of Zeppelin. At first he was with Gene Vincent, right?
Yeah, well, that's part of the tale.
Right, and well, I'll let you tell the tale how he turned down Zeppelin.
I turned down the Bee Gees. You don't know it.
And the Bee Gees.
I dissed the Bee Gees.
He dissed the Bee Gees
after taking them every night to Pie Studios, recording the entire. They wrote it and recorded it every night. They did amazing. And at the end, they had a meeting. It was a Sunday afternoon, and they had a meeting, and I had my little knock on the door, and they all come shuffle in, along with Ozzy, whatever, their producer. And they go, Robert tells us that you used to be on the road, and that, you've been on the road for a long time, been with everybody. And we're going on the road, with the album. And I said, I don't work for no-name bands.
And that was the end of the Bee Gees?
I kept friends. I was very friendly with Robin. Robin and I used to hang out together because we shared the same interests in women and the same woman. So, but back to where did we start this one? Oh, yeah. When I finished at Apple, which was in December, beginning of December, 69, not the summer of 69, December, I had bought a farm in Cornwall, which is way down the west tip, because I have a thing in farming, and I always wanted a farm. So I bought a small farm, it's all I could afford, and I went down there. And this is like 1970. I get middle of 1970. I get a call from Richard Cole, and he said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm in Cornwall. I'm farming." He said, "What are you doing in Cornwall?" I said, I'm having a rest.
Getting my hands
I'm having
dirty.
a rest, okay? Got my cows here." And he said, "Well, we're doing this circuit, and we're going to be in Bristol." And it was with this one a guy called Fred Bannister was a promoter, and he had like 12 gigs, Kidderminster, Town Hall, blah blah blah. Anyway, it was the Winter Gardens in Bath, And he said, we're going to be at Bristol Corn Exchange and Bath, the Winter Gardens, in such and such. And he said, come up. And it was a bit of a drive, but not too. So I went up, I drove there. And I got there just as the band was going on, which was good because I don't like watching bands.
Yeah.
I'm a backstage person. And so I go in the dressing room, and there's Richard and Peter Grant, their manager. And the first thing I said, Peter Grant had a little button on his lapel, and it said, back to mono. And I said, you know what, you should have one on the other one. That'd be funny. I mean,
he's a big guy.
I know, but, I mean, you wait till we do the Pete Townsend thing. So he told me that he used to be the road manager with Gene Vincent. And I just, is there a mouse in here?
I think so.
Wow.
Some
Anyway.
spirits.
Yeah. So, it was Richard and Peter Grant and I, and we spent the entire set while they were playing their asses, and this building was shaking. And then I said hello to them all, and left.
This is.
Oh, and Richard said to me, "Come and work for us," and Peter was saying, Richard tells me,
This is for Zeppelin?
Yeah, for Zeppelin. And Richard had been with me with The Who for a short period of time. Actually, Richard was, I shouldn't really say this, but Richard was very, very good at producing certain elements that we required.
Mm-hmm.
So he became a friend of Keith Moon's very quickly.
Like getting cookies and sandwiches.
I mean, he was a roadie. He was the roadie for Unit 4+2, which was a London band, and had a big hit with The Feet Beneath. I can't remember. So I said, no, I'm farming. I'm great. I'm fine. Well, that lasted about a year. Well, a bit longer. And then
Is that a regret?
No, because I learned a lot of things. The thing is, I really like animals, and I realized farming, especially on a very small farm, on a budget.
You got to go out to Randy Pratt's house. He's got
that's right. Out
200 acres out there for
the
wounded animals.
It's Randy Pratt?
Yeah.
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Because Candida Royal lives. What's the next village after Riverhead? The big one, Nantucket.
Nothing. Oh, you mean Montauk?
No, on the North Fork.
Greenpoint?
Greenport. After that.
There is no after that.
Well,
Orient Point?
Go past Riverhead.
Jamesport.
Yeah.
Then you got Greenport.
Yeah.
That's it, right? Orient Point?
Nantucket. Anyway.
That's not on Long Island. Nantucket's way up there.
Oh, I thought it was Sleigh Ride. That's right. I'm getting mixed up now with Leslie West. Actually, I spoke to Corky Lang last night.
Oh, really? He was one of my favorite drummers.
I know. He's a great friend of mine because Noel played with Corky. Actually played with Corky.
We have about 20 of his sticks.
Noel Redding played with Corky and Leslie for a while. But typically, Leslie, blew him out.
Right.
As he does with everybody.
I know.
But he remained friendly with Corky and Eric Schenkman from Spin Doctors. And so Corky, Eric Schenkman, and Noel Redding, and I kind of roadied for them for a few gigs. It was really funny.
Now I know that you're not going to mind this, and you guys might mind this a little bit, but we wanted to run a little video of my grandson at the beginning of the show, and Neville is
it's good.
Kind enough to allow us. We finally think we got it loaded up. It's only a 30-second video, but you got to see this kid.
It'll blow you away.
Watch this. Oh.
Yeah. Jason.
All right. Well, we're going to have it for you in a second. Well, the video is like, he's number 22. 22. He's going to be the third back.
Like tonight, 22.
He's going to get the ball. He's going to be running with the ball. But you have to watch how many kids this kid took with him across the field.
Well, you won't realize where he came from initially. He just came from nowhere, and all of a sudden he's...
Yeah. here we go. Watch this. Number 22, my grandson, 8 years old.
It's the end of the line.
Watch this.
Keep running, Jaden! Keep running, Jaden!
Am I smiling big enough? I mean, come on. Did you ever see it? The pros want to watch that one. Let me tell you something. That was incredible. And I thank Tom Mealy so much. He spent a lot of time to cut that thing up in little pieces. But I just wanted to just see that because it was mind-boggling. And Jaden, you're my man. And thank you, Neville, for allowing us to.
No, it was brilliant.
But we're going to go to a quick commercial. We're going to come back, and I'm still not understanding these phone lines, ladies and gentlemen. I mean,
forget about
the president's. I mean, the choice really isn't that great of a choice.
Yeah,
I mean, we got an encyclopedia. This is the legend of the super band sitting right here. Come on, let's hear some questions. We'll be back in a minute with the Maverick Soul.
Hi, this is Mickey B, the Prince of Rock and Roll. Join me for my Rockin' Solid Gold Holiday Dance Party, Saturday, December 1st, 8 p.m. at the Belmore Columbus Club, 2333 Belmore Avenue in Belmore, with the rockin' sounds of the 50s through the 80s, starring the Accords, the Fabuleers, 3rd Edition, and DJ Ace playing all your rocking hits. Party with Santa, full hot buffet, coffee, dessert, cash bar. Reservations required. Call 516-822-9612, 516-822-9612, or MickeyB.com. Sponsored by.
This is Angelo from Casper Paranormal. Today we're sitting in with Chris doing a reading. Let's see what's going on.
Okay, I've never had a reading like this before, so just bear with me. I'm seeing bugs.
Bugs? I thought you were a psychic medium.
I know, that's what's confusing. Hold on. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
I'll take the bad news.
I think these are spirit bugs.
Spirit bugs? I've never heard of spirit bugs.
That's just it. Do you want the good news?
Yes.
I know Joe from Bug Busters of Long Island. He'll take care of your problem.
That's great.
Tin Lizzie.
We are back with the Maverick Soul and Mr. Neville Chesters. I have another bit of information that I was told that Pete Townsend just came out with a new book called Who I Am. And from what I've been told, I don't even know if you know this, and I don't know if it's true, but I was told that he dedicated a chapter in the book to you.
I was also told that.
That's pretty impressive.
A girl who finally hung up on me, swore at me, and said she'd never speak to me again 18 months ago, several times, to make sure I heard. Called me on Saturday night after the gig.
After
after your gig, yeah. I just got out of Ken's.
Neville came to my gig.
Yeah, it was great.
Even though he doesn't like to watch the live bands.
Well, yeah, it's okay. Yeah. But I like to be doing stuff. Anyway, yeah, so there is supposed to be a chap. I mean, I was blown away. This girl called me, and I was just unlocking the door, the house door, and, you know, I get this thing where the name comes up, and then...
And that was late, too.
And it was about 1:30, maybe. And I thought, I'm going to take this. And she said, oh, I called you a while back, and I knew. And she said, it was your birthday, and I didn't take it. I said, oh, I'm sorry. But I said, I've taken this one. She said, I'm really glad. I've been trying to get hold of you all night. I just bought Pete's book. And she knows Pete. She claims she's known him for like 20 years. And a few times I've told her to say hi, and I don't think she has. But then, you know, if you get, I mean, a girl with Pete, you know, you're not going to talk about me.
Right.
But she had said a couple of times. But the one thing that did happen was when he got supposedly busted for the pedophilia thing, which didn't happen. I mean, he didn't get busted.
Right.
And they never apologized. She told me about that. And she said...
That was actually, he was trying to actually raise money for children.
He has a charity.
Right.
He has a charity, which is for kids. And he was doing research work. Well, it's like if you type in... if I type you an email and I put Al-Qaeda in it, that's it. They're going to follow us.
Right.
You know. So she said, I'm going to write to Pete. I said, do me a favor, please. If you do write to him, please put a thing for me and just say, I don't know if you remember Neville, but I know him and he's here in New York, and he said he's there for you.
Well, you don't even...
I mean, there was no way he would do that. I just know. I know Peter.
Yeah.
You know?
But you don't know it, but for a special treat, I want you to know, Janine went out and got you a copy of the book, and we have it in the car for you. So you'll be able to take it home tonight and read it. Yes. So we have a copy of the book for you. And you can thank Janine. She took care of it.
Janine, thank you very much. Yeah, Janine does take care of quite a lot of things. I'm sorry.
Well,
but no, I
can't discuss that.
No, I know, no, it's not. It's a family show. Stop it.
But what an honor!
That's great.
What an honor that if that is in fact.
I've sort of been had it worded to me, and it's really funny. I wish I could remember the word.
Diamond. You were the diamond.
Yeah, but I think I got that, and I'm not sure that I got that right. Because there's a kid that. He's 22, 23. He was my roadie up until I getting a girlfriend about a year ago. He used to take me into the city. He's a really nice, kid at the end of the block. And when I told him about it, he went out and bought the book immediately. And he comes running over. He said, I got the book. But he didn't show me it. And he said, I said, well, just fax it, and give me a copy. And then he calls me and he says, so I photographed it and I've sent it in an email. And then, of course, I get it and I open the email and it's like
Can't
It's
see it.
dark. The page is curved over, and there's its shadow.
Well, you'll be able to
So
read it tonight.
I picked a few words out. The opening sentence I think was pretty neat, and the closing sentence is extremely interesting.
Cool.
It says something like, out of all the people, I mean, he admits that they really mistreated me very badly and lost me.
Well, I know how he can make it up to you.
Well, this is the last line, I believe. We have to see this when we get there. It says something about, out of all the people that deserve to be paid, deserve to be taken care of.
Right.
Yeah, he doesn't use the word. I don't know. It's not royalties. All right. It's taken care of. Neville would be the one, and this should flush him out.
Well, I know how.
Right?
I know how he can make it up to you.
Well, it's already arranged.
Madhouse, Maverick Soul Hour,
Well,
Pete Townsend.
I'll try and
when they do the Coliseum.
I'm going to no. What I'm doing is I'm going to the Barclays Centre. They're doing the Barclays Centre at the end of November, and I've got backstage pass. I'm being given backstage pass, and I'm literally going to go up to Pete. I mean, because this is the thing about how knowing that long ago, I did something with a giant whistle. Sadly, it was the last time I saw John, and it made 25 people go, ah! I'll tell you that in a second.
There's another thing today.
I'm going to go to Pete and I'm going to say, Pete, I'm flushed out. Right?
They did it for John, right?
You flushed me out. We were at B.B. King's. John Entwistle was playing at B.B. King's with Godfrey, who was in John.
Who was here on the Maverick Soul Hour.
And got more viewers.
We want you back, Godfrey, and we want you to come in with Neville.
Yeah, you got me more viewers than I did. You're in trouble now.
Godfrey,
I think you got.
Actually, Godfrey had
I
the
think you
most
got your mother
viewers
to
of
call
all.
in. I couldn't dig mine up fast enough. Oh, that wasn't good. So anyway, yeah. So there's a whole circle in the back of BB's in the
Right.
passageway.
That's where I met you.
Yes, exactly. Well, right where we were, John had his back to the wall, and Godfrey was next to him, and somebody else, and then there was John Parris, my bestest friend, except for you, and all the band. It was like a big circle, and I was like, I just wanted to get out of here because Big Pa, who was the original, security,
right.
These guys want to go home.
Yeah.
And bands are terrible. I'm sorry, but at the end of a gig, they just saunter off stage, they leave everything, and they start talking to everybody.
Right.
And they're vibed up,
Right.
and the staff want to go home. So I went in the dressing room, and I got John Parris's handcart, which I bought him as a present, and I stuck his amp on it, and his bag, and his gig bag, and his effects box, and his guitar, I slung it over. And I wheeled it out. And I come out of that dressing room, and there's a circle, and I just go in the circle. And Godfrey looks over, and he goes, wow, he says, John Parris, how does it feel to have, like, one of the most famous roadies working for you? And Entwistle goes, huh, I used to know him when he was happy. And I said, yeah, I used to know when it was worth being happy. And everybody's like,
when I was paid happily.
I was never paid happily.
Yeah.
Maybe right at the end of Jimmy. I did best with Jimmy, but
really,
yeah. When I started in 62, 63 in Liverpool, my first, and this was a hit bat. Is that right?
it's that ghost over there. They're all here.
Yeah, they're all here. Oh,
listening to every word you say.
This place is made of.
Well, Jimmy's over there, and John's over there.
Yeah, I do think about things like that occasionally. I mean,
I'll tell you, we go up to Yazga's farm all the time, and I'll tell you, there is something magical.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a vibe up there that is...
I want to go. I want you to take me up there.
You're
I haven't
definitely
asked
coming
yet,
up.
but,
They would love to have you come up,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
'cause-
We go up all the time. We're up there a lot. We're going to take a quick commercial.
Another one?
Yeah, can you believe it? We're going to come right back with the Maverick Soul with Neville Chesters. We'll be right back. Hang in there.
You have to start paying for these commercials, you know?
This is Angelo from Casper Paranormal. Today we're sitting in with Chris doing a reading. Let's see what's going on.
Okay, I've never had a reading like this before, so just bear with me. I'm seeing bugs.
Bugs? I thought you were a psychic medium.
I know, that's what's confusing. Hold on. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
I'll take the bad news.
I think these are spirit bugs.
Spirit bugs? I've never heard of spirit bugs.
That's just it. Do you want the good news?
Yes.
I know Joe from Bug Busters of Long Island. He'll take care of your problem.
That's great.
Hi, I'm Vinny, owner of VMD Electric. Family owned and operated since 1996, serving all of Nassau and Suffolk County. You can call us anytime, night or day, at 631-669-6915 for all your residential and commercial needs. Here are some photos of our current projects.
What is Grand Prix Motorsports? It's a full-service motorsport performance and service shop. It's West Coast custom style, East Coast pricing, old school customer service, custom-built bikes, all-out performance upgrades, and free towing too. Grand Prix Motorsports is automobile, motorcycle, jet ski, and ATV, performance, service, and repair. It's online at GrandPrixMS.com. Grand Prix Motorsports, Long Island Avenue, Deer Park.
We're back with the Maverick Soul. And Mr. Neville Chesters, I want to say what a pleasure it's been to have him here once again. You know, but Neville, I got to tell you, it's kind of ironic that I'm not 100% sure, but I read this today, that today marks the last, is it the 22nd?
Yeah, 22nd, yeah.
October 22nd was Keith Moon's last gig ever today.
And
it's pretty ironic that
I
you're here
knew the girl that's best friend in Nevada, in Thingy, that was with John in the room with him. Her best friend is a friend of mine. Okay.
That's kind of ironic, though. But so, you know.
She told me about it.
Those little noises we heard over there.
She said I went in the club on
Could have
Monday.
been Mooney saying, hey, pick them drums up.
I'll tell you a good story about Keith. But
Well, we're going to have to hold it for the next time. But Neville will be back. He's.
I bet I had, hadn't I?
We are very good friends now. We go out to dinner. He comes to shows with us. We're going. So we are about to sign off. It's been another beautiful night. I thank you all for coming. I wish you all a week coming up of much fun and peace and happiness. And I hope to see you next week. We have a outrageous singer coming in next week. Outrageous. You're going to love it. I don't want to give it away yet, but make sure you're here next week. And Neville, I can't thank you possibly enough for coming in and gracing us with your knowledge. And
not
I mean, this
welcome,
man is the man that
you know,
the bands are our legends. He is the band's legend. So, of the most famous bands that ever lived.
I'm still alive.
So, with that, it's time for the Maverick Soul to get on the old dusty trail, and we're going to be hitting the road. So, peace out. Have a good time. Have a great week. Be safe. Be healthy. And we'll see you next week right here at the Maverick Soul Hour with Tommy Maher on Madhouse TV.